and welcome to Life Lessons from the Reading School District. I'm Kristin Boyd, Director of Community Engagement for the district, and today we have John Mahoney. He is a third grade teacher at Millmont. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself and then a cool project that he has in his classroom that's really making a difference. So John, if you just want to introduce yourself, tell people a little bit about your background and how you came to us in the district.
Sure. My name is John Mahoney, and I teach third grade at Millmont Elementary School. I am 50 years old, but I've only been teaching for 5 years, so it was a lifelong dream of mine to be a school teacher. Prior to teaching, I was in the mortgage business for a number of years and the restaurant industry before I did that. Came home one night a little unhappy about what I was doing for a living, and my wife encouraged me to go to school to become a school teacher. It was something I had always wanted to do. So went back to Alvernia University and got my degree and was fortunate enough to get a job right out of college. Nice. So yeah, it's been wonderful.
Why teaching for you? What was kind of that nag that kept pulling you back to that?
I had, as a young guy, I had a lot of good teachers. I remember my fourth grade teacher was a man. He was my first man teacher, Mr. Erickson. And I grew up out on Long Island. He was a fisherman, and I love to fish. So we made a nice connection there. And I'd been fortunate through the years to have good teachers. And I found the jobs that I did do, other than teaching, I enjoyed training people and teaching people how to do those jobs, whether it was the mortgage business or restaurant business, teaching someone how to tend bar. I enjoyed doing that. So it's just something I had always wanted to do.
So what do you love most about the classroom when you're there and, surrounded by the kids?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy?
Oh, so many things. I love when I'm teaching something and maybe a student isn't getting it. And I'll sit down with that student, take a moment, and all of a sudden I hear, and it's the same noise always. Ah, and I love that. When a student finally gets what you're trying to teach them. I love the excitement of being in a classroom. I like when kids are excited. They know I'm excited, and they're excited. I could go on and on. There's so many things I love about being in a classroom.
I know one of the things we talked just briefly about before we came into the interview was the recasting. I said when I visited your classroom, when students respond to you or answer a question, they always start off with Mr. Mahoney.
Right.
Can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Sure. Recasting is what we call it. And why I do that, so just to give you a little background. So if I ask a student a question, what's 3 times 8? The student's supposed to say back to me, Mr. Mahoney, 3 times 8 is 24. The reason for that is so they answer in a full sentence. And it's respectful as well. So you'll hear, as you know, you're in my classroom all day long, it's Mr. Mahoney. So I'm not getting one-word answers. And also it helps students to, kind of get some conversation going. I can tell you, I had a student a number of years ago who stuttered. And in my classroom, most of the time she didn't stutter because she knew the first word she had to get out of her mouth was Mr. Mahoney. And her mom came into the classroom, and it actually brought tears to her mother's eyes to see that this student was not stuttering as much because she knew Mr. Mahoney. That's what she had to get out, and after that, everything flowed. So
that's awesome.
Awesome it's been pretty cool.
And I know. So let's talk a little bit about this new project that you have in your classroom, kind of a Dress for Success project. What Mr. Mahoney has is he encourages kids to wear ties in the classroom. Started out as a simple project, and now the majority of your class is doing it?
Oh, they all do it. Yeah, okay. Boys and girls. How it started was I had a student in my class. I think it was my first year, 5 years ago, who was not working up to their potential, put it that way. And I had to have a heart-to-heart with this young man. And I told him, I said, hey, listen, Mr. Mahoney gets up every morning, I tuck in my shirt, I comb my hair, I put on my tie, and I'm ready to work. And I said, I expect you to work hard as well. I work hard for you. I need you to work hard for me. The next day, his mother approached me at dismissal, and she said, Mr. Mahoney, my son would like to wear a tie to school. Is that okay? And I said, well, that's wonderful. So he came in the next day. Sure enough, he had a shirt and tie on, and he was recognized by the principal, other teachers. I made a big deal about it, and I could just see how he felt really good about himself. Well, the next thing you know, I had another student, Mr. Mahoney, can I wear a tie? So it kind of snowballed like that. I wish I could tell you I thought of this great, but I kind of stumbled upon it, but it really worked. So what I do is I go through every year. I get donations for ties. My dad and myself, my uncles give me ties. I offer it to the students. They don't have to do it, but I'll tell you, they all do. And I usually start it right after the Christmas break. And I'm telling you, you come into my classroom, you can see a difference in the way they behave, the way they carry themselves. I'm doing actually a project this year where I'm trying to see if it has any effect on some test scores. I believe it does. I believe that the students actually do better because they feel better about themselves.
Love that.
It's kind of like, you look good, you feel good.
Absolutely.
So we call it Dress for Success, and it's been really successful.
What have some of the kids expressed to you once they are in class and they have their tie?
Yeah, well, they've said to me, they feel better about themselves. I've heard that comment. They feel like they're being respectful. I had one of my students say that she felt she was honoring herself and the school.
Wow.
Which was nice. So, they buy right into it, and it's been really a great thing. And we just had, the newspaper came in and did an article on us. It came out Sunday, and the reporter put my email address in. The response I've gotten has been unbelievable. My email is blowing up. I mean, yesterday we had a snow day in the district. I needed the time just to get back to all these wonderful people,
yes,
that have offered to send me ties. I have bags of ties waiting for me this morning when I came into school.
So how did that make you feel, knowing that one small gesture and connection that you made with a student has now, like you said, snowballed into this?
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, teachers work hard. I work, I was telling you earlier, I work with some of the hardest people I've ever worked with in my life, teachers. And sometimes you're in your classroom and you're doing your thing and you're getting something out of it, but you don't know if anyone else realizes how hard you work. The response I've gotten from people from all over this county, all over the county, has been unbelievable. And it really, it gives me, it encourages me. It gives me faith in people, that people really, you put it out there that you need help. I could use some extra ties. I've got more ties now than I know what to do with, but believe me, we'll use them.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Anything about your teaching experience, or, again, this program and how it's kind of shaping your classroom?
Yeah, what I'd like to do is, what I'd like to see, and I'm going to run this by my principal, Mrs. Murray, who's been very supportive, if maybe we can kind of expand it to maybe the whole school will get involved, maybe the district. I know I saw some comments on the district Facebook page where someone said something, they should do it at the Citadel or the middle schools. I would love to see that, because it's really made a difference in my classroom. You might think, well, put a tie on. How can that make a difference? But it makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
I think especially in the city schools. I really do, because our student body, maybe they don't have as much as maybe some other kids do, And to give them a tie, it's just like the greatest thing. And every year, Mr. Mahoney, can I take the ties home? So, I lose about 25, 30 ties every year, and then I've got to replenish. So this article.
That's exciting that they want to take that home and carry that pride with them.
Yeah, I'm happy to give it to them. I really am.
Sounds good. I will give a little plug for Mr. Mahoney. If you have ties, you are more than welcome to email him. It is mahoneyj@readingsd.org. Again, if we can get this something in the school and possibly district-wide, that would be a phenomenal endeavor for us. So I thank Mr. Mahoney for joining us today.
Thank you.
Telling us a little bit about his background. We're so happy to have you in the district.
Thank you.
We are kind of your second career, but you are making such strides in the classroom that we really do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for joining us with Life Lessons with the Reading School District. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm John Mahoney. I'm a third grade teacher at Millmont Elementary School. I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. The People Chronicles is a great place to take a look and see what's going on in our community.
Okay, Mr. Mahoney, was that bad?
No, it's great. I enjoyed it.
Don't you think everyone in our district should come share their story?
Absolutely. There's a lot of great stories out in our district.
So tell them to come.
Come on in.
Sounds good.